I run an AI cold outreach agency that uses GoHighLevel, and I have connected Claude Code to GoHighLevel to automate the absolute dog shit out of my business. And so what I'm going to do raw in real time, I need to get contacts for my client named Thomas. He runs the business associated with Trans World. Again, it's like an employee, so it knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I want you to, for now, just share the CSV with me and then tell me a little about Thomas, because I am flexing what Claude can do in real time. What Claude is able to do is you can train it. You see it's running these skills right now. Task blink, acquire contacts, right? So if you have these systems and processes that you've created for your marketing agency, right? The same way that you could hire somebody, have an SOP, train somebody on how to do these tasks, you could do the exact same thing with Claude, right? So we generate a lot of contacts, and then we're loading them into, whether it be Smartlead, into GoHighLevel, right? And these are things we need to do all the time. This is generating in the background, right? It's actually going to scrape information online. It's going to store that information within databases. And then for now, I'm just having it create a CSV because it's going to be a lot faster to do that. And then I'll show you it being able to actually create contacts within GoHighLevel. But with all of this, while we're waiting for this to load, this sounds cool. How the heck do you even do this, right? So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to go to the settings of a particular subaccount. And all you need to do is click on private integrations, right? From here, you're going to click create token. I'm going to call this test. You can call this whatever you want. And then from there, you're going to click next. You're going to select all the scopes. Please don't overcomplicate anything I'm saying right now. And then from there, you click create. Okay. And it's going to give you an API key. This is going to be like a string of text that you're able to copy. You're going to give this string of text, and you're going to give the location ID of your subaccount, which is found in the URL of your GoHighLevel account, right? You're going to feed that information to Claude, and you're going to say, here's my GoHighLevel API key. Here's my GoHighLevel subaccount. Do anything you want it to do. I actually have all of our location IDs and all of the API keys in one spreadsheet, and Claude has access to this spreadsheet, right? So, and it has the client's name and all the client's information, right? So imagine a client fills out an onboarding form. Here's name, email, phone number, all this good stuff. Here's everything I want you to do for me with your marketing services or whatever. And then you're adding in a location ID and you're adding in their API key. And now, so the onboarding form covers all the information you need to set up and get everything going for them. And then if Claude knows how to do this, and then you refer to your client in natural language, like, hey, go do this for Thomas, right? It knows who Thomas is. It has the ability to do that. Let's check in and see how it's going. So one thing that's unique about Claude is it just keeps going, right? If it's not done, it just keeps going. I'm going to show you some other examples in general that we'll come back to, where, for example, I asked here to find every contact who replied to our outreach in the last 60 days, but never booked an appointment. And it generates this list. So it looks like it was 701 contacts replied to outreach in the last 60 days, but never booked an appointment. And the second prompt, I need more time, already ran against 48 transcribed calls. Agree they need time, then remove the cost of waiting. I literally just took on a brand new staffer and I'm still in training mode, so I can do this part now. Kyle asked what time for the work. Reframe, signing now costs nothing extra. Onboarding happens at your convenience. So this is my 4 favorite jobs that took off my plate. And I didn't even say this. This is what Claude says, so it must be true because it understands what I'm using the most of. So contacts, right? I mean, what do? I literally send cold emails, cold texts. We do cold calls to people. We have to have a ton of contact information. You can pick from 4,217 different industries, and we need to be ready to generate thousands of contacts for your wild requests at any time and then qualify these people. And so basically, that's a huge part of what we do. Cold outreach is just sending the right offer to the right person. So the right person is like 50% of the job, right? That's a huge thing we use it for. Sales call mining. So almost everything I do inside Claude Code, or Claude for that matter, is powered by my sales calls, powered by my onboarding calls, powered by my calls with my team, with clients. I'm trying to do the best for my clients with my team and my resources, right? And so the client tells you their problem, they tell you what they want, They tell you what their expectations are, so on and so forth. And they have these conversations with them, right? And then Claude is like sitting in, overhearing everything. And then it's like, hey, I heard that. You want me to handle that for you, boss? Dude, it's crazy powerful, right? They use the Sales Cloud mining for everything. Automatic reporting. It could be doing all this stuff, but how's it doing? So it could actually be analyzing how your team is doing, how your client results are, and just overall how things are going within your business. And then, of course, in catching just general mistakes in your business, right? And what's really powerful is the skills. This is more advanced for Claude Code, but like to be able to say, hey, go get contacts for me, go analyze my sales calls and then create the best funnel ever or whatever. Like, how are you going to do that without skills? If you think about it in like a human sense, right? So what you're doing is you're describing to somebody how to do something like one step at a time, and you're creating skills for that, right? If I say, go look at what Thomas wants, my client, right? It should know where to look for that and to be able to perform other actions. And so you have these baby skills, and then you have another skill that uses the baby skills. They're not literally called baby skills. But once you have these skills, you can just speak in layman's terms. The same way that you train somebody how to do things, and then you can ask in layman's terms to do a task. You cannot just ask somebody to do something if they don't know how to do it yet. Okay? What's cool is it's literally set up like that. You just tell Claude how to do something, and you say, create a skill for them. That's it. Okay? So ultimately, you can build this yourself. It's really not complicated. If you don't have Claude Code yet, click on Claude Code, pay the $20 a month if you haven't paid it yet. And when it says install JIT, G-I-T, install JIT, stop being a bitch and just download it already. Right? And if you're like, oh, no, I'm not technical, you don't need to be technical. Click the button, and then it's going to prompt you to click download, okay, or install, whatever it is. And then it's going to say, click next. Just click next until it's done. I swear, I just saved you all this overthinking. I just told you how to do it. You don't need to know how to do anything other than what I literally just told you, and now you have Claude Code on your computer. Claude Code does everything that Claude Chat and Claude Cowork does. Like, there's no reason to be using those. You're just missing out. I promise you, okay? But if you're still want help with setting things up, or you just want to chat and you're watching these videos, or you're like, man, tell me more about this AI cold outreach thing that you claim to be good at. Go to taskblink.com, search TaskBlink, learn more about TaskBlink. That is my full-time thing that I'm doing where I run cold outreach campaigns, primarily for marketing agencies, SEO companies, web designers, and business brokers. And at the end of the day, this is, exactly how I'm using it. So just to be clear, if you want to connect Claude with GoHighLevel, go to your settings of your sub account, click private integration. All you need is an API key and then your location ID. Share it with Claude Code and ask away. Have fun. It's so much easier than you think it is.